to hear yourself. So let me.
All right, we should be live, actually.
I'm just wondering about my sound because.
Oh no, it sounds fine.
I know, but if I put the YouTube stream on,
just turn the volume off on the video.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep the volume.
But I'm not turning the volume off on you. Okay, yeah. I'll figure it out.
So what is up, everybody? As you can see, we're definitely doing a little bit different of a live stream today. I have my friend here, Anna McAfee, who is one of the greats of all time as far as LinkedIn marketing is concerned. She actually has an amazing story with what she's done and accomplished some cool things that, I mean, when you think about just what's possible from one person coming into this really big business like LinkedIn and saying, hey guys, why don't you have this, whole platform? I'm going to let Anna kind of introduce what platform I'm talking about, but I'm super excited to bring her in today, guys. And I know that she's excited to be here and talk to you guys about LinkedIn, because just like I'm passionate with digital marketing, she's super passionate about LinkedIn and using it for businesses. So I'm going to go ahead and let Anna kind of introduce herself and talk a little bit about her story really quickly. So thank you again, Anna, for joining me.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for having me. I'm actually coming at you all the way from Australia. So this is the beauty of the worldwide world of business and LinkedIn and everything else. So it's 1 p.m. here. So it's already Friday. So greetings from the future.
Right.
I am a LinkedIn trainer, LinkedIn speaker, all round, I guess, LinkedIn magician. I think somebody once referred to me as, which I'm going to coin. So I do all things LinkedIn. My background's in the recruitment industry. So I worked and trained recruiters back in the 2000s before there was anything called social media, and then it came along, obviously, being LinkedIn with massive disruption. So I have been in that industry and in that space, training largely recruiters for a lot of years, and then over the last probably 3 to 4 years, very much going into business and looking very much from a business to business or business to consumer perspective. I don't deal with a lot of recruitment anymore, nor a lot of job seeking. I'm very, very much focused on the kind of business development side on LinkedIn.
Right.
So that's me from a business perspective. To tell you a little story about what happened to me on LinkedIn, I think is a relatively powerful one. And I think the fact that I'm here from Australia is testament to, and I guess how you and I got connected, Jordan. But back in May 2017, I put a post on LinkedIn on a whim about a local meetup in my area. I live in a small town of 100,000 people in Australia. So I'm not in a big city with a huge amount of opportunities available. But I just went, hey, I'm going to stick this post up on LinkedIn. I'm going to have a local meetup with people, and I'm going to, we're all going to get together for coffee and meet face to face. I put a hashtag on it, LinkedIn Local. Within a few hours, a few people from around the world had contacted me and said, hey, this is a cool idea. I might do the same thing in Brussels and in London and in Toronto and New York. And so we had this little thing going and this little hashtag, and it has just grown and grown and grown. So if you've not seen it on LinkedIn, go and do a hashtag search on LinkedIn, because I do believe it's the longest running hashtag campaign and most viewed. LinkedIn don't release the numbers, unfortunately, like any other platform. But to date, we are in 89 countries and around about 1,000 cities. So most US cities. And that's in less than 2 years. So it's a beast, but it's a pretty cool idea, and it's opened up a lot of opportunities for me personally. I was doing a lot of local training, which I still do, but I obviously now do a lot with the US market as well, UK market too, just based on LinkedIn Local. So it's kind of a little bit of a story of the power of social media in a way, because it does have the ability to spread ideas, really good ideas well.
Right. And what's so amazing is LinkedIn Local literally just came from an idea, guys. And that's really what's cool about this whole online business opportunity, or really just entrepreneurship in general. And this isn't going to be about, the talk tonight, but I just think it's so cool when someone just finds something that isn't in existence currently and there's an issue. That's why that thought even came about. And then they take that thought and act upon it. and it turns into this whole idea. And a lot of the time we're not even meaning to do it, but we just do it accidentally. And then it turns into this thing that we become so passionate about. And then it just becomes this whole thing driven by a massive community. So it's just really cool, because the same thing kind of happened to me with Serial Entrepreneur, which was just really cool to see. But guys, I can't say enough about Anna. She was actually recommended to me by Maxwell Finn and Jeremy Adams. You guys have heard me talk about them tons. So when they recommended her, I knew she was going to be great. And so I actually have talked with her. She's going to be partnering up with us on our 2.0 course release, talking about LinkedIn content in there. We're excited to have her there. And so I thought, well, since we're already doing that, we might as well have you come on live, since we're bringing on all these experts in different areas of digital marketing. But today, guys, she's going to talk to you about building your personal profiles and company pages, because the biggest issue most people have is when they go on LinkedIn to try and get clients, they don't have their profile built really for success. You don't have it built in a way that's going to attract people to necessarily want to work with you. And it's only because you're missing maybe a few elements a lot of the time. Most people know you have to have a professional picture. You need to have your bio. You need to have some skill sets and all of that. But really, what is it? And so that's what Anna is going to talk with you guys about today. So I think we're going to go ahead. If you guys are ready for that, do me a favor. Just hit the thumbs up button if you want Anna to talk to you guys about how you should actually build your profile into a profile that's going to be able to help you guys get more clients. If you do want to see that, hit the thumbs up. And also do me a favor, just write your name and say hello if you haven't already done so. So that way Anna and I know who you are and what you're doing. If you've used LinkedIn before to land clients, we'd also like to know that. If you haven't and you've been thinking about it, what's been keeping you from using LinkedIn? Why don't you think it is something that you should be using right now? So go ahead and write those comments in there. She's going to make sure that you guys hold all questions. Well, we're going to hold all questions until the end, but feel free to put them in the comments as we go through this training. And we will cover those at the very end of her little training. So Anna, feel free to go ahead and take over the screen share and you can get started.
Awesome. All right, guys. So just a heads up, I'm new to YouTube Live. So I do a ton of Facebook Live. So through Be Live, if you guys are doing live. So I may have to flip between a few screens because I've got some slides and...
Well, the greatest part about my audience is everyone here is super patient. They're seriously some of the best people ever. Like, they always show up. They're always ready to go, ready to learn. People take notes because I do a giveaway at the end of every single video. So they're always ready to take notes, which I guess I should mention, guys, really quickly before Anna gets started. One last announcement. In case you guys missed it, I think I did it yesterday. We released an announcement talking about us doing Easter eggs. Every single video we release in every single month, we're going to drop one Easter egg pretty much every single month. So let me make that a little more clear. We're going to drop one Easter egg every single month. We release about 16 to 18 videos every single month between our posted videos and our live videos. Our Easter egg is going to be a free digital marketing school. So once a month, we're giving away digital marketing school. All you have to do is watch our YouTube videos and go find the spot in the video where I give you the code word. Take that code word, head over to our business Facebook page and send us the message. The first person to do that wins that Easter egg. So you guys, if you aren't watching our videos regularly and you want to get into digital marketing school and you want to do it for free, that's going to be the best way for you to do that. And it's just going to be a lot of fun because it's going to be a cool game with people basically treasure hunting for free courses. So that's the only announcement. But Anna, I'm going to go back to you and let you take it over.
Awesome. All right. I'm going to share some slides and some screenshots from LinkedIn. So I'll flip back and forth. That's the bit I won't be clear on, is the flipping on back and forth. But in terms of LinkedIn, only because I'm a little bit of a YouTube first timer, YouTube Live. So pretty much what Jordan and I talked about before today was really covering building a strong people profiles and company pages. Now, some of you might not need a company page. It can really depend on the type of business, but you all need a people profile. Some people think they need just a company page, and I hate to destroy your, shatter your view on that one, but you need to be a person. LinkedIn is the one platform out there that is built for people. The way the algorithm works, the way LinkedIn make money is all around people. So if you think about the way Facebook make money, it's all through advertising. everything they are trying to do on Facebook, and I'm by no means a Facebook expert, but it's very ad driven. That is their entire revenue, is through ads. LinkedIn is not through ads. LinkedIn don't make a lot of money on ads. They make most of their money by charging businesses and recruiters and corporates, or people like myself, to either buy, the professional or the Sales Navigator. So just in the way the whole structure of the platform is built, it is about people profiles. And if you think about it, in business, people do business with people. It's very rare these days to put up a link and get, unless you're selling a great product, but if you're in a service-based business, it's very difficult to put up a link and have somebody just buy straight away from you without even knowing who you are. So
right.
If you can still drive a lot of content from the company page, but you have to have really good people pages to support it. So I'm going to talk about people pages, I'm going to talk about company pages, and I'm going to talk about the consistency that you can build looking at both of those, building in a bit of employee brand advocacy, building in things like, background images on all of your employees' profiles or all of your clients' employees' profiles, and really building that professional structure to the way you're presenting yourself on LinkedIn. So, but to get clear, first of all, on people profiles. So this is just a screenshot, and I'm going to jump to the live LinkedIn shortly, but there's a few things that are really important that you want to kind of take note of. The first one up here in the top right is an area that is edit your public profile and URL. So you can have a unique URL to your profile that you can obviously share anywhere. Print it on your business cards, put it as the link in your Instagram account, wherever you want to put out links on your website. Make sure you put in the people profiles there so people can easily connect. I have it on my business card. It's great. So that's a one-time task you need to do, but it can be really, really effective. And obviously sharing that out will help you get more connections, particularly people that you're actually meeting. I'm going to talk about so I've got this little star here, so you can see that there, the background image. This should be branded. This is mine, and I'll take you to my profile in a second. But it's something that, I have a brand statement. This is what I use, but it could be a logo. I'll give you a few ideas as to what to use here. But having this with your branding on it can be extremely effective and an opportunity that a lot of people miss to showcase more about what they do or events they have coming up, what it is that they offer. Profile picture is pretty key too. So having a professional photo, again, we are on a professional platform, so make sure it's reasonably professional. A big mistake a lot of people make with LinkedIn is having, first of all, a company logo. This isn't the place for your company logo. That is elsewhere. Don't have a photo of you on your birthday or on holiday, unless you're in travel.
I've never got people who did that. It's just like we're on a professional platform and you're in your bathing suit.
Exactly.
What are you doing?
Unless you sell bathing suits, I can't think of a reason that
or surfing excursions. Like, there's no reason you should be wearing that. So,
absolutely. Right. And you want to be, so if you can get professional photos, great. They look good. Mine's professional. I paid to have it done. If you can't do that, at least just have something that's looking reasonably professional and that fits that circle. And I think that's really important.
Everyone should be able to do that, by the way. I'm just going to give you guys a quick tip. You want a quick professional photo? Have any of you ever taken a passport photo at like CVS or Walgreens or one of your local like drugstores or pharmacy stores? You can literally walk in there, pay for a passport photo. I think it's like $20. And just go in like a jacket and suit and tie. They usually put it on a white background because that's how it has to be. And boom, you have a professional photo. Like if you can't find any other way, like with technology and your phone, there's always like that passport photo option. So there is a way to get a professional photo. But
absolutely. Yep. So that photo is key, and I'll get you guys just to check a quick setting when I look on the live page once I finish this screen, just to make sure that your profile picture is being displayed to people. But if you're miles away in the background and you want to go and meet someone for coffee, they're going to pull out the phone and they're going to look at this photo and go, who is this person? You need to be recognizable. So remember, you may meet some of your LinkedIn connections in person, and you certainly want to. So make sure that is kind of up to date and looking really, really good. Underneath that in red, I've got the headline, and just above that, I'll mention the name. This seems really simple, but you need to just have your name there. Some people might put a little bit of, if they've got a unique hashtag or something like that, they might put that behind, but don't try and trick the algorithm by trying to put your job title in your name. It will not like you in searches. And I think emojis don't put there as well. I've seen some people try and put a ton of emojis after their name. Put those in the headline, which is the red square below. So that is, the headline's really important, and I'm going to go into a little bit of the detail when I talk about that and the summary. Obviously set your location, all of that kind of stuff, and then primarily after that, you really want to concentrate on your summary. And as you can see here under my summary, I have a couple of links. I have a few more now I'll show you on the live screen. But those links are one of the best ways to showcase what you do. If you've got a lead magnet, put it in there. If you've got an offer on, make sure these links are in there. It can be external links like YouTube links, or you can actually upload, upload documents to that. So, and I'll show you that in a second, but this is one of the things, this is a very rich, showcase of your brand. It's not your CV or your resume. It is there to really showcase what your business does.
So Emma, I'm curious, because that's actually something I haven't thought of doing before. Really, I've only put I just put my website there. Like you said, potentially use a lead magnet.
Yep.
What would make someone, I guess from a user perspective, if I'm another business owner, or maybe I'm a marketing exec, whoever I am checking out your profile, what would, I guess, what's the process of a person wanting to go and check out that lead magnet? How do they?
If your lead magnet is an offer and a tool that's valuable to them,
right,
and it's something that they can download, then I think that's a great place for it. Because if they can see, your headline might say you offer, coaching let's say you're a mindfulness coach, and you have in your headline, you've got mindfulness coach. You have in your summary, you talk about why you're so passionate about mindfulness, and then you have a link to your website, and then potentially a lead magnet. Now the lead magnet may just be to get people to obviously into your mailing list, but if you've got something there like 10 tips for a successful morning or whatever it is, then that's valuable to them. It doesn't mean they're going to click on it and follow through with it, but if it's something that's valuable to your target audience, put that in there, because don't fill it up all with lead magnets, but
right.
it's good to kind of have that section there.
Okay.
And what I'm trying to do is just stop screen share so I can. Am I still sharing the screen?
There you go. Nope, you're good now.
Right. So let me.
The only thing I have to do is make sure when I do that, I don't hit stop broadcast, because I've done that before and I was like, no, I ended the whole broadcast earlier.
I've done that before too. Yeah. So what I really want to do is let me open up another web browser. Otherwise, I'm going to share you again, Jordan.
Okay.
So,
yeah, sure. You're
sorry.
fine. Take your time. We're good. While you do that, I do have a question in here that maybe we can multitask. If not, but one says, is LinkedIn Premium, is it worth it? Somebody's asking if it's worth it.
Don't start there. So I'll share with you my own experience. I have always been free. I've done everything free. I've never had any issues. Occasionally I'll have a client who really wants to do a lot of work in Sales Navigator. And so I will purchase Sales Navigator for a month to get access, obviously, to that. If you're at a point in your business and your life where you're considering premium, I would suggest going to Sales Navigator, not premium, because I don't think premium is worth it. Sales Navigator is a very powerful tool, and it tells you actually who's active on the platform. So it's extremely and that data is incredible. Its search function is incredible, and it's only around about I think it's around about $25 extra per month. So I'm trying to, you're putting me on the spot with the US pricing. So
that's okay.
yeah, it's around about $50, I think, a month for premium, and it's probably about $75, $80 a month for Sales Navigator. So it's not that much more, but the tools that you get are amazing.
Okay.
So I've built my whole, I think I've got about 11,000 followers on a free account. I don't do a huge amount of searching though. So it's the thing that will sting you is searching. They'll cancel your, you'll not be able to search until the first of the month again. But so I have just purchased Sales Navigator. So just to give you some insight, and the primary reason for that is I have so many connections that I don't see my clients' content anymore. So what you can do on Sales Navigator is set up a bespoke news feed so that it's so you can set up to 1,500 leads. So I can have all my clients in there. I check it once a day, and I get all my client, make sure I'm doing what I need to do with that. And then I have my main news feed, but it also allows me to use some searching and connect with more people who are active, who are new to the area, that type of thing. So I would say if you don't, you'll know when you need it. Don't start with a free account. You'll get to a point and you'll know exactly when you need to go more. But definitely don't start there. It will not affect the algorithm. I think there's a myth flying around that, I have to be premium in order to get new features first and in order for my post to go further. Absolutely, definitely not.
Right.
The whole LinkedIn local thing happened to me on a free account, all of the content there. And, a lot of content creators I know that do extremely well on LinkedIn have all been on free accounts. So I can shatter that myth most certainly. All right,
there you go, Mario Mitchell. So LinkedIn Premium, not necessarily worth it. Sales Navigator, probably check that one out.
Yeah.
Cool.
You can take a trial of Sales Navigator, by the way. To go to your profile, I'm assuming you guys can see this screen, just up to the little me button here and the profile. So this is the profile in edit mode. So I mentioned about the background image. So just to give you a little bit of, so a few ideas on this. Canva, if anybody's familiar with canva.com, I think a lot of people in digital marketing are now.
Oh, yeah.
They do have free templates that fit exactly this, the actual dimensions. So you just need to scroll through the templates on Canva and you'll find those. And with that, you can obviously add branding. A lot of my content is all about community, so that's why I have that there. I also have the quote, but put your logo in there, put whatever it is. If you haven't got the time or the inclination to go and spend some time on branding, put something there. As long as you've got, there's some great free stock images you can get on Unsplash or Pexels or wherever you go for your images. Right. You can have some great stuff there that will tie into your brand. It may be a desk with a computer or whatever it is, but the most important thing is you've got something there. So that's the background image. And before I show you a couple of examples, I will just show you. So the edit public profile URL is this little bit here. So make sure you go in and edit that. So I can change this here. It could be you could use your company name there, but if you've never changed it, it'll be your name with a lot of dashes and numbers and letters. So you just want to make that change once. It does have to be unique as well. But that's a really good thing to do first.
Makes it easy. I mean, it makes your name branded almost is what it does versus having like Jordan Steen XLR-3124-5, So makes it easier for people to find you. And if you guys are going out there trying to meet with people at networking events or even just trying to share it with someone online, just like in marketing, when we create short links for ads, the reason why we do that is to clean up the ad, make it easier for someone to remember or use. Same thing with your personal profile. And guys, one thing I want to stress here, because Anna's going into this for a very specific reason. If you're on LinkedIn trying to get clients, I'll tell you just from my experience alone, I hire a lot of people on a regular basis. And anytime I go on Upwork, for example, think of LinkedIn as your resume, because that's really what it is, especially for your personal profile. So when I go onto Upwork and I see someone who's done, me and Anna were just talking about this, a half-assed profile on their Upwork page, what makes them think that I'm actually going to consider hiring them when I can see up front that they've already done half a job, when they should have done everything they could to try and convince me that I need to hire them? Because that's what they're doing. They're selling me on hiring them as a potential worker for my company. And a lot of people will go in there and do nothing with their profiles and expect to get results. I have friends actually who I'm trying to push into starting into the freelancer lifestyle and, just working from home, working on platforms like Upwork. And they send me their profiles and then I go through it. I'm like, guys, did you spend 5 minutes on it? Because that's what it looks like. Where if you really want it to benefit your audience or the people you're trying to reach, you have to put hours worth of effort into really planning how you want it to look. It's not just a quick 5-minute job and then you're done. The things you say, what links you put in, what hashtags you use, the pictures you use, all of that's important. And that's why Anna's going into this, first and foremost.
Yeah. And so, yeah, exactly everything that you said, Jordan, is great. And so really think about kind of consistency in the professional brand that you're, that you're putting out there. Go and Google some stuff on personal branding to get a few ideas as well. We don't have enough time to kind of cover personal branding in too much detail, but I'll talk a little bit about that in the summary and the headline. But so I mentioned background image on the photo. Obviously, to make any changes here, the one thing I do just want you guys to check, because I see this happen a little bit, is see this visibility tab. Make sure it's more than just your connections. The reason for this is I've seen people do this so incorrectly, is that they've got a photo there, but it's not on for your it's only on for their connections. So when they send me a connection request, there's no photo, and I think their profile's incomplete. So make sure it's at least your network, all LinkedIn members, or public.
I deny those people all the time. Like if you send me a LinkedIn request and you don't even have a photo up, I will never accept you. Like it just.
I absolutely agree with you, but bear in mind there are probably people who have that setting wrong. I've seen very professional people in that position. I've accepted them, and I've suddenly realized there's a photo.
Honestly, it might even be me. Like that's why me and Anna are working after this. She's gonna help me get my LinkedIn profile in shape, because LinkedIn's just something I haven't worked on, which we all know I definitely should be. So anyways, getting back to what you're talking about.
Oh, good. So that's the images, guys. And once I've done sort of most of the profile, I'll give you a couple of examples that you can go away and check out. But headlines are really big important. Anywhere within LinkedIn, anywhere you go in the news feed, the things that you see on anybody are, I've got all the International Women's Day here. So you see profile picture, name, and headline. Everywhere you look, comments, it's all people's headlines.
Right.
So what you say in that headline is extremely important. And so think about what's in your headline. And if you've got a brand statement, it could be your business on your website, you have some kind of brand statement. So if you're just owner of X agency, keep that if it's relevant, but put a brand statement at the end. So it might be, helping local restaurants, get more clients or something like that. Whatever it is that you kind of have as a brand statement is really effective. To give you an example of somebody in Australia who is probably, sort of at least in digital marketing anyway. So Max has a really great profile. He starts out with, I've got my client's content viewed 50 million times on Google Maps. And then he talks about, exactly what he does. He could do that in the opposite order, but I think that's a really effective headline because it's saying more than what his job title and his company is.
Right. That's super enticing automatically. You see that and you're like, wow, that's a lot of views. It's that almost clickbaity style of copywriting that it's not a lie, but it's something that it's going to catch your eyes. Because when you see the number 50 million and views on Google, you're like, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. So consider a statement. On my old headline, I had creating opportunity through genuine connection and storytelling, which was what a lot of the LinkedIn local stuff was about. I've since kind of updated it more to job titles, and it will change over time, and there's going to be little things that you want to do. At the moment, I've got these hashtags on mine because that's what a lot of my content is about at the moment. I'm probably about to take that off, not because I don't want it there, but there's something else I want to add in. So headlines are a great place to put emojis as well. So again, another thing that you can do is I've separated mine with a pipe, but put in some emojis there can be really, really effective too. So don't put them in the name, but headline is great. So just consider, and I'll just talk about summary just briefly, and then I'll jump back to the slides. But in your summary, you really want to think, and your headline, you really want to think about a couple of key questions, and I'm going to go through those. But with summary, see how I've got this little show more button? Whatever you write at the start of your summary has to entice people to show more. So think about how you can catch somebody's attention so they actually click that button and read the rest. So that's a really, really, really important thing, is don't start with something boring. Start with something striking to get their attention and actually bring them in. So mine goes into a little bit of detail, but one really key thing with your summary is you really want to break down what you offer and what you're available for. And so I think that is something that, again, a lot of people miss in the summary, is because, again, you know, you've got your work experience here, but are people going to scroll that far? And if they're on mobile, this area doesn't actually come up. They have to click into the company to see this information. So make sure your summary has exactly what you do in a lot of detail. So let me just stop sharing that and jump back to the slides, because I want to, where are we? I want to just give you guys a few key questions to go away and think about. So in terms of, headline and summary, think about these questions. What do you help who with? So I help local businesses, or local real estate agents showcase their brand better online. Be as detailed as possible. People truly need to understand exactly what you do, and so many people just don't offer that. How do you help them, and why you help? Why you do what you do, you can go into a lot in your summary. So what is it that made you go out on your own? Why did you leave corporate life and start your own business? Everybody's got a backstory, and we could spend hours on storytelling, but people want to hear this story. And when it comes to content, storytelling is very, very key in terms of actually, when people see your passion for your industry, or, you know, the fact that you used to be a realtor and now you help them market, that you have a complete understanding of their industry. So little things like that is really important. What led you to your career choice change? What are you a keen supporter of? This is a little bit of personal branding that I'm bringing in, but again, you've got to remember there's a human touch here. When you meet somebody, even at a networking event, my guess is you might talk about your kids, you might talk about the fact that you play softball, you might talk about the fact that you run a coders club, whatever it is that you do. And it could just be that you're a keen supporter of local businesses. If you are very local focused, and I do a lot of work with very locally focused businesses, is that all they really need to show on LinkedIn is being out there and supporting other businesses. And they're getting a ton of clients, not through producing a lot of content, but just being interactive within the content that's there. What question are you the answer to? I don't want to get too philosophical, and we don't have a lot of time, but what problem do you actually solve, and what makes you unique? But going back to what question are you the answer to? Like if somebody said, I really need somebody who can help me do this, and I really need somebody with this skill, what is that question? And use that in your headline and your summary.
Right.
Break down what it is that you do. And I'm going to jump back. What's my next slide? Yeah, that's company pages. I'm just going to jump back and show you a couple of examples on LinkedIn. And I'll just briefly talk about a couple of the other sections on profile. I'm just conscious of time.
Yeah, you're fine. And guys, just so you guys are aware, I mean, she makes a really good point. You know, tell people what you do and be unique about it. So when you're in that profile, though, telling people what you do, don't say, I generate sales and leads. That's literally what every other marketer is writing on their profile. Tell a unique story that shows how you generate leads and sales for customers without getting too detailed, like we use the Facebook pixel to drive remarketing campaign, like not that specific, but you guys get what I'm saying. You know, just build something that tells a story that showcases the fact that you drive engagement, sales, and leads for businesses, but don't say the same thing that every other marketer is out there putting on their profile. And that's something I'm even not victim of, but guilty of. So
we're all guilty of it. I mean, as my summary is not as perfect as I'd like, but you know, you've got to have something there, don't you? I constantly want to change it.
Right.
So I just want to give you guys maybe just about 3 or 4 examples. So Chris does have her job title in her name, which I would say probably isn't the best idea. That should more be in the headline. She's potentially trying to create a bit of space, but she's also possibly somebody who's not so worried about search views, which is where she would get in trouble with that. But profile picture's great. Background images about a book she's got coming out. But what I really love, and I want to show you about Chris's profile, is at the start, she has organizations call me when there is these specific problems, and she lists them, and it's extremely well laid out. So what I do, my why, my goal, my qualifications, and the organizations I've impacted. And again, at the end of your summary, it's really important to have a call to action. So people want to know how to connect with you. If you're growing an Instagram account or a Facebook and you're here to learn about LinkedIn, put those links in there. Make sure people know how to find you, or put your email address or your website. So make sure that is there. So that is an example of a great summary, because I think it's quite clear she's talking about the problems that she solves and why and who she's worked with. So I think that is a really, really good example to use, and a really good kind of layout to use as well. To give you another, searching in the wrong area.
And one thing I want you guys to know, she was mentioning it with the build out of her summary, was the fact that it started off with, you know, why people call her, and then it went into what she solves, how she does it, and she went in a chronological order, at least a logical order, where your brain is asking these questions in that order anyway, right? And so she's answering them in the order that your brain is already probably processing those questions. A lot of people have a hard time delivering a message because they jumble things up. And I'm definitely one of those, because I'm not a writer. But if you're not a writer, understand that, you know, you have to get a message across clearly for someone to continue reading all the way down to that call to action. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. So if you're not a writer, get someone who can help you formulate those thoughts and put them in a logical order that would make sense to a reader.
Kind of ironic, I'm on a communication specialist profile, but Lila's great, by the way, if you need anybody. I just wanted to show you Lila's profile, because she talks about, again, if you're events and you're doing speaking engagements and that kind of thing, immediately you come here, up next, this is what she's doing. So she really talks about, you know, what she's got coming up, what she trains people to do. Do you need to say things better? That's the name of her business. And she talks about who and how, the types of people that she helps. So again, this is, I kind of like this, because it's a good, whilst she's not using a lot of emojis, you know, in the first impression, here it breaks it down really, really well, and it's fun. And I think this is, people are just trying with LinkedIn. They think, oh, it's corporate, I've got to have a corporate executive summary. You absolutely do not. If anything, I would steer away from anything in the third person. It needs to be in the first person. So yeah, so there's that's again another couple of ideas there that give you a bit of breakdown. And you know, in terms of what she's got in her headline, again, which is great. She's got a really long headline, by the way. If anybody does need a really long one, you can get more characters if you go in and edit it on mobile. On desktop, where you have up to 120 characters, but you can get more on mobile if you need it. The other thing as well, and just because we did mention about, I mentioned earlier about Instagram and Facebook links and things, on anybody's profile, there's this see contact info. Now, what you want to do is make sure that this contact info is up to date on your profile. I know somebody who said to me, I cannot figure out why people keep sending me, work inquiries to my home account. And I'm like, and I looked at their LinkedIn profile, and of course it's linked to their home account. So people that are connected to them are, contacting them via whatever's here. So make sure this is here, but you can actually, within your own profile, add in some links. So you can add obviously personal websites, and you can actually add, there is a way to, so the way I've set up, see my Instagram here. So the options that you have here, you can put other and then Instagram, but do the same with Facebook. Twitter works really well. It links really well when you set up your profile. So if you're into Twitter, then definitely link that, because you will get people connect with you that will auto follow you on Twitter. So that again is another way to kind of grow those other areas, but have these in here. But in particular, make sure your email address is up to date, and your phone number too, if you want that there. You may not want to, but that's just a couple of things there. Right. So that's the profile stuff. Just on profile, to give you another couple of examples, if you're struggling with tone and how to, I guess, be a little bit more sociable on social media, I think Alex is a really great startup, because welcome to my humble abode. If you're reading this, you're one of three things. You've read something, you're stalking me, or you're trying to sell me something. It's extremely chatty. It's extremely, personable. You read this, you kind of smile, you think, great. This is actually really kind of funny. And she talks about her journey a little bit as well. So that's when I talk about opener and how to start, I think anybody would click show more on this, because it's kind of, you're reading it going, oh, that's kind of a cool little introduction. So just another sort of tip there as well, just to give you a few ideas on what can make a really, really good summary.
Right.
If anybody is into kind of using stories, I think this is, I actually don't know Jason at all. I connected with him one day, I read his summary, and I've used it ever since in training, because I think this is a perfect way to really draw people into what your summary is. And his story is about going to a pumpkin patch and picking something that's too big, but this is what makes him a good recruiter. And again, he doesn't have all his offerings there, and it's quite a long story, but it is, again, another way. I've seen people really effectively talk about what they wanted to be when they grew up and how that relates to what they do now. So you've got to remember, you've got a kind of personal brand here. So, and people want to do business with people. So you don't need to get too personal if you don't want to, but there's a few ideas here just in terms of kind of being a little bit more human, and less of a sort of corporate executive summary.
Right. People want originality. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They don't want to go in there and read the same summary they've read 1,000 times. And that's what that is. That is original at its best. So you really want to stand out. Yeah, that's a great way to do that.
Amy's got a really good background image here. It's branded, it's her, it's got her website in it. Her brand statement is, I help leaders communicate and connect better. And it couldn't get more simple. I mean, admittedly, she's in communication, but it's really, really effective, and really kind of shows a little bit about what she does. So, again, she's got a very well laid out structure. I mean, again, it's quite long, but she really structures out what she does, how you can work together, what her specialties are, and the book that she's written as well. So that's just a couple of things on headline and summary. I've given you some questions. I've given you some examples, so I hope that's okay. I just want to kind of move along. I'll just finish off people profiles, unless I haven't been keeping up on questions, Jordan, sorry, but we can kind of cover that.
We'll get through that at the very end. I would say just go ahead and finish up what you need to do on company. And you still, I think you still plan to talk about company pages too, right? Yeah.
I'll spend some time doing that. But also, so if you to add media here, just really quickly, add any media. So you update your summary within this section. And then obviously you have these links here. So to look at the formats and everything, you can go and do that yourself, but that's how you actually change these links. You can add also media to the experience section as well. So if you've got quite a bit of media, just fill this out as much as you can. Activity obviously comes from your activity. You won't set that up in your profile. Experience, again, you can reorder these. You can just kind of drag and drop these if you need to, which is useful for a lot of people whose most recent job, you know, they have a few different businesses, but obviously have those up to date there. You want to obviously add in education. Skills and endorsements are great. Put your skills there. Endorsements are, however, losing a lot of their luster in terms of people use DocSoup and some of these other browser plugins to auto-endorse people. I don't recommend it, particularly if you've never spoken to somebody. Whoever decided it would build credibility, I'm not sure what they were thinking, but because of that, it's not, have your skills up to date, but don't, I think, worry so much about endorsements. Where you really want to spend your time is on these recommendations. You can ask for recommendations here, go and get those recommendations from people within your network, and you can ask for that there. But it is really important, if you're going to focus your time, don't worry about asking people for skills endorsements. Go and ask them for recommendations, because it stands out so much better, and it's going to have people, you know, obviously, if there's a more personal recommendation there, it's much, much better.
Right.
So that's pretty much what we've got time for on people profiles. But
that was a good bit of info. I mean, that was, yeah. I think a lot of people just realized, crap, I need to go over to LinkedIn tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. So let me just come back to my slides quickly. Okay. All right. So company pages. So a company page traditionally on LinkedIn has just been recently rebranded to LinkedIn Pages. LinkedIn have kind of made this announcement that they really want to have more people, you know, they're bringing up more features for LinkedIn Pages, and they are going to start focusing them more on smaller businesses than they are on corporates. Having said that, if you've not got a lot of time, spend it building your personal profile and build a following on that, particularly if you've got a really small business and it's primarily you're the salesperson, because it's great to have a company page because you get the little logo on your profile, and you know, people can still click to it. They can read about what you do and click through to your website. But you don't, like from my own business, I don't spend time building my company page because it's just me. I do enough through my own personal profile that I just don't need it.
Right.
But particularly for clients, you're probably going to want to be managing their pages and kind of looking at a few things. So there's some new features that have come out, and there's more coming. So there's some custom buttons which I'll show you. You can set frequently used hashtags now related to your page, which is quite useful. There's a content suggestion section. And finally, there are better notifications. For anybody who manages a company page on LinkedIn, you never used to actually be able to see when somebody had mentioned or liked or commented on your post. It was one of the big oversights I think LinkedIn made when designing them, but they are improving them. And of course, company pages is where you can do sponsored content. Sponsored content on LinkedIn, obviously we're not going to go into a lot of detail on that. It is extremely expensive. It's around $6 to $9 per click. So it's not suitable for a lot of businesses, but it can, you know, if you've got high-end products, it can be a good way to start get people at top of funnel, because you can target obviously by job title very, very effectively.
Right.
In terms of company page, you know, having a company page there could just be a good thing, and then you've got the option for sponsored content in the future. There is also as well something called showcase pages and affiliated pages, which are a great way to show sub-brands, events, or divisions. So just before, I'll just jump to the last slide, and then I'll just quickly go and show you a company page. But just in terms of strategy around, if you do have a couple of employees or you have a client that have really said to you, you know, I need my company page having followers. I'm not interested in my own brand essentially so much because I've got several different businesses, so I really need to build up that company page. Here's what you kind of need to do to grow a company page. You need to strategize to share employees' posts to the page and vice versa. Another thing that I haven't written on this slide, but that you also need to do, that a lot of people don't, is make sure all the employees of the business are already following the company page. If you've got a business out there that might have 50 employees, but not even the employees follow the company page. So that's obviously going to get you significantly more followers straight away. So make sure that happens. There's nowhere on LinkedIn to invite people to like pages. So whilst on Facebook, I get connect with people all the time, and then immediately I get a, can you like my page? You can't do that on LinkedIn, unfortunately. You can send them the link to the company page, but how many will click follow? I don't know.
Right.
So you do want to strategize to obviously, so if any employees make a post that's relevant, obviously, to the business, share it to the company page. If there's a company page post, make sure that there's like a little Slack message or internal email that says, can everybody please go in and share the post to their networks today? Because if you think about it, there may be a business owner who's got 4,000 connections, which is, 4,000 followers, and a company page that only has 500. So you've got the reach through that sharing to obviously have that, being done. When employees make, and even any partners that make posts, you want to make sure they @mention the page. What I mean by @mention is on your screen, actually use the @ and then from the drop down, actually tag the company page. We've grown the LinkedIn local page really effectively just by doing this. So @mentioning that means people click through to the company and then we'll click follow. Use, obviously, within your content, you want the business's personalities on the page to represent the brand better and increase engagement. If your company page is just blog post after blog post or, offers and that type of thing, people aren't going to engage with it. It's got to be rich, engaging content. And the last thing I'll mention on this is ensure there's consistency in the way personal profiles are set up. So, a really good thing can be a consistent branded background image for everyone in the business, because it just means if somebody's visiting, they might be dealing with a team of people. If they can connect with them and everybody has that brand on their background image, that's great. Have everybody have some corporate photos taken so they've all got really professional photos. You also want to make sure there's a correct link to the company page to increase page followers. What I mean by that is, let me just come back to. So on my profile, I have to go a long way down, show you. But see here, I've got, and you'll see this on people's profiles a little bit. This is obviously a really old job. I'm not worried that there isn't a company page there, but if there's no logo there, this is just like a dummy page. It hasn't gone anywhere, whereas these ones, obviously, I can click through to. So if you visit somebody's profile, you click straight through. And this is one of the best ways to get followers, is actually have, oh, I wonder what that business does when they're on somebody's profile. They click through and then they click follow. So I'm here as an admin, but I'll just click to view as member to give you an idea of a company page. So the buttons here are now customizable. So this is where, so you can actually have sign up, view jobs. I'll show you that in a second. But you've obviously got, the usual logo, background image. LinkedIn recommend actually you change this every 3 months. I don't know whether that's an algorithm thing or I find that quite funny, but they recommend that you always change the background image every 3 months. Bizarrely.
Oh, background image, yes. I was going to say the profile, no. Yeah. I don't think you would ever want to do that. Yeah, I think that's just to make it seem like your page isn't just being ignored.
Yeah.
To let people know, hey, we're still here, guys. Don't worry.
I mean, this page here obviously has a lot of employees. They're not technically employees, but it also has a lot of followers. So that these do relate somewhat. So if you've only got your one single person, you do need to be doing more @mentions and more commenting and probably the more content that you're sharing to your own profile in order to get those followers. But this significantly helps if people can click through from the employees' pages. So there's hashtags set up, there's some affiliate pages set up, there's also some showcase pages here too. So just a few things to kind of show there. You can as well, I'll go back to the admin, you can as well link a group to a company page. So this is a private group, so it would appear publicly if it wasn't a private group, but you can certainly link those groups there. To edit the buttons here, you can obviously have more button, learn more. You can have people register, sign up, contact, that type of thing there, and have any URL. So you can customize those buttons really, really well. The analytics, you keep an eye on your analytics if you're going to be, I mean, this is fairly, these have been improved. So you've got analytics on page followers, updates, and visitors. So it's good to kind of keep an eye on those based on the content that you've been doing. Another really new thing is content suggestions that you will see, and it's a way to kind of look at your page followers, what they have been interacting with. You do need to play around with this, and you can make it all LinkedIn members in particular industries, for example. So I'll use a more
That's actually really interesting for all of us as digital marketers, because now we can spy on competitors. We can look at just things that our customers are currently looking at to create content in the future. Yeah. That's going to be super helpful for a lot of people. Yeah, definitely.
So, so just kind of playing around with these, you could have, so maybe it's, and obviously you can, you might want to make this a little bit more. No content. You get the idea. But you can play around a little bit with that as well.
Right.
So obviously it gives you external links, which, the algorithm doesn't love external links on LinkedIn, but it does give you some ideas on what's trending and, what the LinkedIn audience is sort of looking at. So, so that's just a few tips there, but definitely, just to kind of sum up, your strategy really needs to be about both people and company profiles. It's impossible to build a page from nothing unless it's just advertising based, which a lot of us just don't have the budget for.
Right.
So really link it well with the people profiles, obviously have them connecting and reaching out to people, and from there page followings will come.
Right. And so that's the thing, guys. If you didn't take anything away from what Anna said, the biggest thing that you need to understand about what she was essentially training you guys on, it's not about just putting a page out there. That's great, but it's about showing that you're real people and then connecting with those people, getting people to engage, not just because, like she said, LinkedIn is super expensive. If you don't have an ad budget to build with just an ad budget, you have to rely on, like she said, rich quality content, and then getting the people who are involved with your brand or with your business involved with the posting and the content that you're actually putting out there for your pages. So
it's actually somebody else who does the post for the LinkedIn local page, not me. But one thing we always share within our community, our host community, our strategy is, like, if you want to get featured on the page, make sure you mention the page.
Right.
Because we know that grows our followers, but it also gives them exposure on there. So
right.
That's just how we kind of manage things internally. And if you just build that into your own internal communication, it can be done really effectively.
Right. And guys, I've left the link for LinkedIn Local. They actually have a website where you can go and pretty much, not everywhere yet, they're getting close, but pretty much anywhere in the world, at least all of the major cities, that's for sure.
There's some smaller cities too. I'm just trying. There was, I know, is it Sioux Falls I spoke to fairly recently, and some really kind of smaller cities that,
right.
it's they're not big, they're generally not big events. You can have sort of 30, 40 people. So,
right. And that's the best thing.
A lot of them are actually Montana. So is it Missoula and Helena, and there's another city in Montana that have absolutely thriving LinkedIn local communities.
That's great.
It's not just major cities, but yeah, all the events should be there. You can look at them on LinkedIn as well. If you just do the by hashtag search, so LinkedIn Local Dallas, find that there too. But
right. And if you guys are looking for those networking events, you guys know me. I always talk about networking being the best way to get clients and new business and marketing, in my opinion. If you guys are looking for new networking events, there's probably a LinkedIn Local event going on near you. So definitely, it's LinkedIn Local. Again, the link is right below this.
Video. It's actually LinkedIn Local, not
letter.
LinkedIn. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a trademark rule there.
Yeah. Can't get in trouble with LinkedIn.
Yeah,
they get mad at you.
But if anybody hates networking and you're listening to this going, rolling your eyes, LinkedIn Local is pitch free and it's not for profit. So the pitch free element, trust me, it will help you get through that door knowing that nobody's there to kind of sell you anything. They're a really beautiful community of people, actually. Every city I get great feedback from that, you know, particularly if you're a little bit scared of content. So I met a couple of content creators who flew out from the US to Australia to an event here in Sydney. And both of them said to me, both of these people have like 30,000 followers now. And both of them said to me, I didn't create content on LinkedIn until somebody dragged me to a LinkedIn local event. I met this community of people and went, wow. And now I have this huge following and I'm flying across the world to these events. So
nice.
That might not be what you need. You might just want to make some new friends, but
Right.
But they are good if you hate traditional networking.
And that's great. I think people need different avenues because not everybody wants the high pressure networking events. You know, somebody wants, you know, there's people out there that want that relaxed environment where they're literally going to build relationships with other professionals who care about making themselves better. That's really the entire thing. I think not the entire premise, but that's a big premise behind what LinkedIn Local is doing. It's a community of people who want to better themselves and want to meet other people who also want to better themselves. So I think what you're doing is really great. I think everybody here, I've already seen through the questions. What's funny is I don't think we have a ton of questions, and it's not because you didn't do your job. I think it's because you've given them so much information. They're just like, okay, I'm going to take this training and we're going to go work on LinkedIn tomorrow. But we had a ton of people saying they loved the training today. So we'll definitely have to get you back out here at some point in the future, Anna. But I appreciate you again coming in and doing this training with us. I know everybody here found that valuable. I learned some new things today, so that's always great. If you guys want to reach out to Anna, would you prefer them reach out to you on LinkedIn? How do you prefer?
Yeah, do it on LinkedIn. I'm so busy there. I haven't kind of got around to my website being updated yet, so
Right.
to bear with me on that one.
So yeah, she's
I'm very responsive.
Cool. So yeah, she's very approachable and is super nice to talk to. So if you guys need help with LinkedIn, getting your profile together, that's the lady. Now, look, guys, she ain't free. Okay, we're if you guys really like, she'll definitely help you. I'm not saying that, but just realize, guys, if you want her to sit there and go through your entire LinkedIn with her, you're gonna have to, put forth a little effort on your end too. But I promise you it'll be worth it. I'm probably about to hook up a deal with Anna because I know I need my stuff redone. And there's definitely some stuff that she can help me with on company pages. But if you guys are looking for more LinkedIn help, definitely check Anna out. We've got a ton of people saying thank you for stopping by, Anna. So you definitely had a great training today. But since we are done with today's training, guys, if you are ready for the mentorship course giveaway, I need you to do two things. Number one, hit the thumbs up button. So that way I know you guys are ready. If you don't hit the thumbs up button, you don't qualify to win, and I won't give you the prize. Sorry. So you better make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Number two is you need to write a yes in the comments. That way I know you guys are ready to play. I've already got my question ready. It was pretty easy picking out a question today because there was tons of great tidbits that I think everybody found some learning room for. Where is it at? There. Okay, yep. So let me see. Do we have people saying yes? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yeses and 24 people watching. I know that y'all can do better than that. That's sad. So if we don't get more than 15 yeses in the next minute, I'm gonna cancel the giveaway and we won't do it. So let me see some yeses. Let me see you guys. If you're ready, then I need to see some yeses. Let me see better than 7 of y'all, because there's like 25 of y'all watching. I bet about at least 20 of y'all want to win it, but only 7 of y'all wrote yes. Okay, well, Scott wrote yes like 15 times. That's okay. Well, then, no, never mind. We'll do the giveaway anyways. It's just if you didn't write yes, you don't win. So the question for today, since we're going to go ahead and do the giveaway, and we'll make sure it's somebody who actually wrote yes. The question for today is, what did Anna say that you should not write after your name on your LinkedIn profile? What is it that you should not include after your name on your profile on LinkedIn? First one to respond gets it. Who's gonna get it? We got people in here. Come on, people, write yes. Your job title, Quapo Thompson. I think did I pronounce your name right? Quapo or Capo? I'm gonna go with Calpo. Oh, it might be Calpo. I honestly don't know. That one stumped me. But congratulations. You were the first one to answer. Yes, job title is the answer that I was looking for. You should not be putting your job title in your name or after your name on LinkedIn. And that is for search purposes. So search traffic. People think of any social platform, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, they all have a search bar, right? Because they want you to be able to search for tags, for people, for content. So essentially what you have to understand is that all social platforms are a mini search engine of social content. So what that means is your profile, you want it to rank, right? If you're building a personal brand or a company page, you want that page to rank. To do that, you have to follow LinkedIn's best practices for its algorithm, right? Same thing as you would if you were trying to get your website to rank on Google. Same exact thing, just a little bit different of an algorithm. So anyways, getting back to that, thank you everybody for playing today's game. Calpo, please. He was the one saying, come on, people, too. So I'm glad he won. Go ahead and send me a message on my Facebook business page. That's facebook.com/serial entrepreneur. And we will get your code over by tomorrow. But that's it for me, guys. Anna, thank you so much again for coming on. I really appreciate you spending a good hour with us and talking about LinkedIn and showing everybody some really cool techniques to take to their businesses.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you guys next week on Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time like we do every week. Until then, Serial Entrepreneur out. Bye, guys.